Hello, my name is Tom Sayer, and I am your son or daughter's world history teacher this year in 2020. Couple different things. First of all, when you get a chance, please sign in so they can get credit. So you'll fill out a form that looks like this and just tell me what period they have, and then also tell me if you want to a little bit extra that might help me teach them better. Next thing is that the syllabus is linked right here, so you can kind of check out additional information, which I'm not going to go through everything because there's a lot. Best way to contact me is email, and I do my best to try and get back to you within 24 hours. Um, I also don't answer emails after 8 p.m. because I'm with my family. In terms of just welcoming the students and goals, it's obviously a different year. We still will do our best to cover the same content. Um, there's a very good chance we will not cover as much because of the circumstances. In terms of methods and goals, my goals are to, number one, have them be interested in what's going on in the world, current events, history, etc. I really was bored in middle school and high school history, and it wasn't until I went to the great Cal Berkeley that I really started to get interested, but also traveling around the world. And I kind of feel like I don't think that the kids should be bored by history, but just see it as relevant to their life. And this year it's obviously relevant to many people's lives, unlike before, in that there is a political election, which there's a lot of people very interested in the presidential election, um, but also just a lot of the protests and racial injustice that people are voicing their opinions about. Obviously, the pandemic is hitting us all one way or another. So those are some things that obviously are happening in the news, and many more things like the fires and the quality of air, etc. The second thing is just being prepared for high school. What skills will they need for high school history and just high school success in general? Both my kids went through Graham. Both my kids went through Los Altos High School. One now is in college. One is a senior in high school applying for colleges. So I've seen what they need, and I think that gives me a better perspective as a teacher prepping students. Literacy is a huge emphasis in high school and prep for college, and it's also a big emphasis at Graham. Also, PSYOP for students who are second language learners. But this is just good teaching strategies for all kids, just so they can understand things, a lot more visuals. Um, we will use primary source analysis and readings. Common Core and distance learning will definitely be a factor. We don't know for how long, obviously. Therefore, we will be using a number of online resources, such as websites such as Padlet, Edpuzzle, and there's many more. Um, the other thing is I like, as I said before, to use lots of visuals, slides, videos, PowerPoints, etc. In terms of tech, they will be using their Chromebooks quite a bit, and it's a lot of screen time, and we'll talk about that more in a second. But Google Classroom is their main link to what we're covering. We will be using lots of forms of Google Docs. They will make their own web page. They will be answering things like forms, Google Forms. In terms of connection, it's primarily through Zoom. So I do want them to participate. Some kids are better than others, and some are more outgoing. But quantity and quality is something that I will stress. Some will give me plenty. They might need to work on quality. Some are shy. They may need to work on quantity to begin. Just etiquette as well, whether it's the Zoom chat, whether it's talking to each other, whether it's working in a breakout room. All that is important, and we're all learning how to use Zoom, whether it's for work or school. Presentations, they will be giving some presentations sometime this year. That is one of our standards and skills, especially needed. Sometime in life, they're going to need to present something, and I don't want the first time that happens to be on the job where it's really important. It's a little bit easier, a lot safer if you're going to be doing this, in a 7th grade social studies class. And at this point, it's over Zoom. What materials will we be using? Well, number one, we've got an online textbook, which is Medieval World and Beyond from TCI. We'll be using some online resources such as a Stanford website, SHEG, and then we will also be using some New York online materials, which are very good. Some online tools and resources, Google Classroom, again, Zoom, Padlet, Edpuzzle, Google Sites. We'll also maybe be making some videos with WeVideo. They have done a Flipgrid already, which is quick and easy, where they can film themselves, share it. The next thing is how do you help them? Well, one of the big things is organization, communication. We're going to kind of take it easy. Things are crazy right now, so I will be flexible. But right here, this is my web page, and this is my dashboard where the assignments are listed. And then right here is Google Classroom where they're all numbered. So if you follow the numbers, you will also be able to see the same numbers on PowerSchool. And it's week by week and culture by culture. So I'm trying to keep it very organized for their benefit and yours and mine. In terms of expectations, I want them to give their best effort. I want them to complete their assignments nightly. And I don't even call it homework because everything's homework now. But 50% of their grade is going to be their assignments, 25% tests, and I will usually tell them at least a week before. I know that they used to be a lot more busy with sports and things, but I like to give them notice. Participation, I do want them to speak up. And then we do have a student participation rubric, which is new this year, and it's based upon a 4-point scale. If they're not attending Zoom meetings, then they will get a 1. 2 if they come sometimes, 3 if they come all the time but they really don't participate, and 4 will be if they're participating and showing up all the time. Obviously, if they have an appointment or something like that, call into the office. But I do want to hear from them. How do you help them succeed? Look at the dashboard as needed. Assignments, if they turn them in on time, can receive up to full credit. After that, they start to lose value in terms of points. Ask for help if you need it, especially the students. They need to learn to use email. They need to learn to, send an email off with Dear Mr. Sayre, and then their issue, and then their name and their period. It just makes it easier for me. But also in high school, the teachers really expect the students first to communicate, and I think that's a good skill. The other problem is a lot of kids will sometimes send an email, and that's it. And then the next day I talk to them about their email, and they're like, oh, yeah, I did send you an email. But they never looked for a response. So they need to ask, but then they need to look for a response. The second thing is that in terms of communication, they need to, I think I said this already, send it before 8 o'clock. And I would not do it at 7:59. I do it like 7 or earlier, because the sooner they ask, the sooner they can get a response. After 8 o'clock, my email is away, and I'm not going to look at it. I'm usually an early bird, so I may be responding the next morning. How else can you help? Discuss current events, what's going on in the world. Periodically look at their work and review their work as needed. Some kids need a lot more support. Some kids are very self-directed, self-starters, etc. And again, email is the best way to contact me. And so I look forward to an interesting year and hopefully a very good year. So take care. I did this video as well just because some people couldn't make it, or there was some Zoom link problems on back to school night. So they will still get credit as long as you fill out the form within the next couple of days by this Tuesday, and Tuesday the 1st of September. So anyway, take care.